Y'all, we're back with Frugal in Tennessee, and this is part 2 of the Bob series, the bug out bags. I'm going to pan over to the table. Don't freak out. It was kind of like a last minute decision to make this video, so we pretty much dumped everything out, and it's amazing how much fits in that bag. But we'll go over items really quickly. If there's anything that you want more information on, comment below, and we'll certainly do a video and talk about that specific item, where we got it, how much it was. So let's get started. What do you want to do first? Pick one and hold up. Okay, so this is the first item he picked. Now this is obviously a hat with a mosquito netting. That is if you're gonna be out in the woods and you have to trek somewhere and you're in an area where there's a lot of bugs and mosquitoes. It is very lightweight. It does a little bit of water repelling. It's got the mosquito net, and that's really good to go. I feel like Vanna White on this side. Now we also have this kind of off order, but we have little tubs of batteries. We have some items that are battery operated, like flashlights, and we also have a radio that require batteries. So we do have additional batteries. We realize that once this thing does not zoom on it, it just zooms on the table. What was I gonna say? Oh yes, batteries. So we have refills for batteries, but we know obviously if there's if there's an EMP situation, that something's going to happen where you don't have any more batteries. So once we're out of these, if we don't have any more, we'd have backup plans. So these are the batteries. We also have a tub of, these are safety pins and super glue. You can always use super glue for something. Next. Now this is what I have in my backpack. It is a road atlas for our area. It is old, but when you're out and about in the woods, you don't need really roads and stuff. You may need like geographical information so you can coordinate yourself. So this should be all we need. We have, I believe that's 100 foot of paracord. We have, how much is that, 50 foot? 50 or 100 foot of rope. We have 2 rolls of duct tape. Again, very useful. You know, it's like the Force, has a light side and a dark side, and it binds the universe together. We have poncho. I believe I have 2 of those in my pocket. Obviously, you're going to need that when it rains. We have a little sewing kit. We have, now I know you've seen the Mylar blankets. We have some of those. We also have, this is an emergency shelter made out of Mylar, so this is also a good thing to have. I have a set of gloves. This goes more with the clothes. I have an outfit that goes with, that I have with the bag. It's a camo pant, camo t-shirts, and then these obviously. These are the Mylar blankets I was talking about. I believe I have one of those in. Do I have 2 of those? I have 2. Oh no, I have just one of these in my pack. The third item I have with Mylar is a Mylar sleeping bag. Again, if you can tell by the writing, this is obviously not made in America, but as long as it keeps me warm, at this point I don't care. There's a secondary poncho. Okay, now this is a medical supply. This is part of the med kit. This is the breathing CPR mask cover. We have a travel case of cotton swabs, also important. Now these are not in order of importance. These are just in the order of whichever Mark can grab first on the table. Now this is a flare, also very useful. Now the most important part when you're out in the bush and you're trekking around is this. Obviously it's toilet paper. Have to have it. I usually keep it in a Ziploc bag to keep it dry, but right now it's just out. We have a, what do you call that? A tree saw? It's like a finger. It's a finger saw with where you put your fingers through here, and you have the saw chain. So if you need to cut down a small piece of wood or something like that, you can definitely do that. You did take those out. I can't. Give me something else. Okay. I also have a pocket knife. I have another one in there. It's hidden somewhere in the pockets. I have not found it yet, so I definitely need to work on my organization. But there's a pocket knife. We also have little binoculars, and they're supposed to have night vision. I haven't tried them out yet. Yeah, this is the case it came in. It's just a little set of binoculars, and they actually work pretty cool for as cheap as they were. Now, this is a very important one. It is a water purifier. Now, as I said, we have 2 bags. I have one, and my husband has one. They're mostly the same with a few alterations. Mine has the personal water purifier, the drinking straw. You can basically just suck the water out the top, and it will filter it through the straw, and it's good to drink. My husband does not have one of these. He has actually water purifying tablets, a couple sets of those. So you definitely need that. I also have bungee cords. Again, a lot of our stuff is in Ziploc bags because when you're out in the woods away from home, you want to make sure that you're able to keep everything nice and dry. Now this one here, we have, these are emergency food ration bars. They're supposed to taste like apple cinnamon. We have not opened these yet. There are 2,400 calories in the pack. They're kind of, if you can see a little bit at the, they're kind of cubed in there. There's like 8 cubes. So this would actually help us quite a bit out when you're away from your emergency food supplies. I believe I have 3 of those in my pack. Okay, next one, we have a headlamp. So if you have to trek through the woods or somewhere at night, at least you have a light with quick access to the buttons. And it actually works pretty good. Again, we have batteries in here. Once it gets to the point that we run out of batteries, then we have to go to plan B. Which is, this is one of my plan Bs. It is a flashlight, but it is a wind-up flashlight. So once we run out of batteries, I always have this as a backup. And I don't know if it's turned on. Hang on.
It's not. You gotta pull the
Aha. See, you open it, and then you kind of, it's like a car dynamo with back in the day when you had the light on the car, and you kind of just squeeze, and then you can turn the button on. Well, this is very difficult to do with one hand. Why is it not working? Alright, sorry folks, we're having some technical difficulties. Let me squeeze these a little bit and see. Actually, let me hand this to Mark and let him squeeze it. And then I know it worked when I put it in here. It's probably just user error at the moment. Again, I have a couple of little small flashlights. Okay, it works. Like I said, it was user error, so if it sits for a while, you have to take a minute and kind of squeeze it and build up the battery power. And it has LED lights, so it works pretty good. These flashlights, I believe I have 2 of these in my pack, so does Mark. They're good to have if you have other people with you. You can give them a little flashlight. They don't take up a lot of room, and we really like these. What's next? Next, we have crayons for the child's at heart. Actually, they're not, I mean, yes, you can take them, and you can, you know, draw little things out there and mark little trees and stuff, but what we actually have these for is for the emergency light, which is crazy. But if you actually light a crayon, they can burn up to 30 minutes. So you have 30 minutes of light, emergency light. And you know, somebody asks you, you're just a kid at heart, you just have something to play. And if you have little kids, hey, you know, push comes to shove, give them a crayon. I have an additional lighter. I have one with the crayons and I have one separate. Always important to have some light. Since we're on the light subject, we also have, what do you call these? They are fire starters. See, that's what happens when you take them out of the, just light the wrapper. Okay, so yeah, if you want to start a fire, you just lay these under some kindling and you start burning the wrapper. It will light up and it will help you start a fire. Again, this is, you know, just something to have initially. Eventually, you'd have to resort to other things. So we have 3 of these, I believe. Next, we have regular matches. They are again in a Ziploc bag to keep them dry, and you can always use Ziploc bags to keep other things dry as well. And these are regular cheap matches. Come on, screw. Okay. backups. We also have waterproof matches, so they're in a sealed container with a strike on the bottom. And these are, I don't know if it's going to zoom in on it, but these are waterproof matches. And then a little case with an O-ring, so they're all nice and safe. Aha, there we go. So this is another backup for the matches. Give me more, give me more. Alright, now y'all know what this is. This is a flint. You scrape the magnesium off, and then you get a spark and you light it. So obviously once you're done with the lighters and the fire starters, this is always a backup. I think I have 1 or 2 in my bag. I know I have 1 for sure. I'm not sure about the second one, but you definitely want one of these in your pack. Now this one is kind of cute. I'm a girl, I like cute stuff. Mark's more the functionality type, but this is a little, like one of them credit card kind of tool things. It has a magnifying glass. It has a, if it would zoom in on it, it has a compass. You can take it out. Will you pull that for a sec? Thank you. So you have a can opener. You have what is all in here, like a screwdriver part, and I don't know why this thing doesn't zoom, or focus rather. Aha! So there's that. Just a little tool. It was really cheap. It didn't break the bank, and I'm sure if we're out in the woods, you know, if push comes to shove, we'll have some use out of this. Hi, Stinky. Okay, now the other thing we bought, which I thought was kind of cool. Some of you might think it's kind of chintzy, but it's an emergency whistle. It's like a 7-in-1 whistle. It has a compass. It's obviously a whistle. It has a, if it focuses, it has a temperature gauge on it. I believe it has a light on it. I know one of them when we bought didn't work, but I think this one does. It has a flashlight. You can unscrew the top, and it has a mirror in the top, and maybe a magnifying glass. So it's really cool. I think it was only $1. It didn't break the bank, but it's kind of cool, you know, to have. So I like it. Now this one I thought my husband had in his pack, but apparently I'm carrying it. It is a it's a solar hand crank flashlight slash emergency radio. So you can have the blinking lights, the volume, and I believe we bought that on eBay a while back. And I think you can even plug in stuff to charge it. And again, I think it is a crank, and it has a little solar strip on the top, so that's kind of cool. Now, for the girls out there, when guys are in the woods, they can just walk up to the tree, whip it out, and go pee, and they're fine. Unfortunately, us girls can't do that. I mean, I guess we could try, but it probably would look very funny and be a mess. So what I did is I bought one of these. Now, I have not tried this yet. Supposedly, all you have to do is just open the front of your pants and hold it in on the bottom. And then you pee or hold it in, I'm trying to think, I think it goes like this. And then you pee and it comes out here. So you're kind of like a guy's peeing standing up, so you don't have to expose yourself all the way in the woods and pee. Like I said, I have not tried this yet. I probably will, and then I'll let you know how good that works. But I got that. This other little tool, Stinky, you're unfocusing my camera, dude. Meow. What are you doing? That is Stinky, our little cat. Now this is, I believe, it's a tick removal tool. You probably don't need that. We saw it online. I think we got that, I don't know if we got it on eBay or something. It was really, really cheap. And I'm sure we could come up with something to use for that, but I believe this is a tick remover from what I can tell. What's next? Now next, what you should always have is some trash bags. I got a few black trash bags, big ones. I got some sandwich bags in here in a Ziploc bag. There's always something that something that you come across that you have to keep dry, or something that you need storage for. So, plus, even though if it's the end of civilization, you don't have to leave the woods in a bunch of litter, so you can pick up your stuff. Okay, now this one, if I don't drop it, he's laying right in the shot right under the table. No, this is not food. This is a canteen set. Yep, there's Ladybug. It is a pot, it's a frying pan, it has a little cup in there. There's something else in there. Yeah, it's like a whole little cooking kit. So it's actually kind of neat because it folds up really small. And of course with that we have a fork and a spoon. Knives I carry anyway, so that's not a big deal. I think we're making a dent in it, people. I think there's like a third left. Well, maybe not a third, maybe a quarter. This one is part of the medical kit. This is a tourniquet. Again, that's also something, you know, important. Hey, you know, if you're in the Walking Dead, somebody gets bit in the ankle, you gotta cut that knee off. You're gonna need that. This one is Vaseline, also very important. We used a big Vaseline jug and we just put it in. I had these little containers, so I just put these in, so every pack has one of these as well. This is another emergency kit. We have some rubbing alcohol. I believe this is hydrogen peroxide, bug spray, and hand sanitizer. And again, everything is in a Ziploc bag. I think this is double Ziploc just in case something leaks. You don't get everything else wet, and it's very useful. Now these we had because we had these, and they're dust masks or like mouth masks. If you need them, nice to have them, but that's not. This one is not. We just happen to have these. We have an ACE bandage. Again, if you're out in the woods, sprain an ankle, you always want to have medical supplies. We have 2 of these tapes. This is the tape you get on when you give blood, so it's always good for bandaging. Here we have a couple of different medical sticky tapes, always good to have. Chapstick, of course. Now this I had in the medical kit, but it's out now. It's an antidiarrheal. If you happen to get in some contaminated water, you don't want to have ongoing diarrhea because you can get dehydrated very quickly, and it's going to be a big problem. So you definitely want to have some of these. This is a surgical kit. It is some medical scissors. Will you grab the scissors, son? Thank you. This is just a surgical kit I bought online. It has some sutures in it, just in case you need it. You never know. Yeah, put them in there. Personal hygiene. We have some flushable wipes, a couple packs of those. Now for this is our medical kit. We bought one at Walmart, a standard container. I like the case that it's in, and then we added a bunch of stuff, so if you have any questions about this in particular, we can open it up and go through these if you'd like. Rubber bands. Never know when you can use a rubber band. They're very light, don't take up a lot of room. Now personal hygiene. I went to Walmart and we priced out the items, and these are travel size, and they were about $1 a piece, and it's a 10-piece kit. So I think we paid $5 for it, so it's actually cheaper to look at these. These were at Walmart next to where the travelers were. They were like on the top of a shelf. It has a shampoo, a conditioner, a lotion, deodorant, toothpaste. Actually got a whole bunch of stuff right there if you can tell. So that's definitely something you want to have in there. I mean, you want to stay clean. And again, like I said, this is my pack, so this is not something that everybody would have, but you gotta have these. Don't want to be without these caught in the woods. And then, of course, we have some Gold Bond powder. Again, the travel sizes you can get at Walmart. We have some microfiber cloth as well as a bar of soap that's double packed in there. And then tissues. If you know me, I have terrible allergies. I cannot go anywhere without tissues, so this is my last backup. And yes, it is frozen. Actually, I like Olaf, but it was on sale, so it works for me. Is that it? Alright, that's everything that I had in my pack. Like I said, it's amazing how much stuff fits into the bag. Like I said, you can make it as elaborate as you want to. Anything that you might think you need, get a little bit of extra just in case you have people following you or walking with you. Of course, you want to have guns for self-protection.
Separate the bag a little bit into other bags. Separate it down so that this ain't so heavy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then if you're know you're gonna be with somebody, you can spread this up over 2 different bags. So it's not so heavy. This is actually quite a heavy bag. If we're going somewhere where we're living, we hopefully don't have to go far, so this will be fine. If you have children or weaker people in the group, you want to maybe make them a smaller pack. and divide it up. We just have it separate. That way, if I'm at work and he's stuck here somewhere, that everybody has enough supplies to make it on their own. But like I said, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. If you want to know more about any of these items, let us know and we'll do a video on that particularly. Like, share, and subscribe. And over there is Ladybug. Good morning, Ladybugs. She's eyeing them emergency kits, so she's probably trying to have some. And then, of course, we have Portos. He's over there sleeping. That's usually how it goes at our house. So, y'all enjoy the rest of the weekend, and share, like, and comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.